You are so lucky within just a few minutes. The world-famous Russian dog wizard, Vlade, the Russian dog wizard, will be joining us and answering your questions at 1-866-405-8405.
Today I'm going to talk about the sex. Train your husband as the dog. Use the sex as a cookie. He obeys you, he gets the sex. He disobeys you, no sex. As always is here on Animal Radio, please give us a call at 1-866-405-8405.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. From all across the globe, this is Animal Radio. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Listener just called in. Yes, you can get the Animal Radio newsletter free of charge every month. It has some great tips and advice. It's all at animalradio.com. You can also email us at yourvoice@animalradio.com. We got an email just a few minutes ago. Hey, Hal and Judy, my schnauzer has allergies. Oh, I hear this so much this time of year.
Oh, everyone. People have it. Animals have it.
Matt goes on to say he's scratching his hind legs until they bleed. This happens every spring. What can we do? Well, first thing you need to do is isolate the allergy. You need to ask your vet to find out what he's allergic to. And as soon as we can do that, as soon as we can isolate what he's allergic to, then we can find a solution, and your vet will have some great ideas. Some drastic, maybe some not so drastic. Of course, today maybe you'll hear some ideas. We'll be focusing on allergies that pets have. Also today, Gary Berghoff, Radar from MASH, is joining us. Second or third time? Second or third time?
I think it's about the third time.
Also, Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, and our vets answer your questions at 1-866-405-8405. Let's find out what's on your mind right now. Who's this?
Hi, Al. It's Lori.
Hi, Lori. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Where are you calling from?
I'm currently driving through Texas.
Driving through Texas.
Yeah.
Okay. Drive carefully there. What can we do for you?
I just had a suggestion for Matt.
Okay.
I was a transplant from the north to the south, and my dog was allergic to the mold spores in the grass.
Oh.
Wow.
In the grass?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
The vet put him on steroids for a very short period of time. You put him on a high dose, and then they wean him down, and it takes care of the problem for like a 6-month period of time.
Very drastic, though.
Yeah, but it worked.
Yes,
he had the problem. They said it was common for northern dogs. They didn't have the same antibodies to the stuff in the south. So
that makes sense.
It does make sense. Prednisone is a great steroid for animals for a lot of different reasons, but long term, of course, it's no good. But if you could do it for a month or less, then it could be very good.
Yeah, that's how they did it. They would do it for like a month at a time, and then last about 6 months.
How did your dog show you that he was allergic to the grass? What was he doing?
Same thing. He started licking, and he would get sores, and they would flare up instantly, you know. If you didn't catch it within a day, next thing you know, he had a huge, like, gaping boil almost. It was really kind of gross.
Was it when you were traveling? Was it certain grass?
No, we moved from Massachusetts down to Florida, and boom, that was it.
Other than that, though, he's doing good, huh?
Well, he's deceased now. Now I own Southern dogs. So.
You have 7 dogs now?
No, I own Southern dogs.
Southern dogs.
They don't have the same problem, right? They were born and raised in the South.
There you go.
They're immune to that moldy, spory grass.
That's right.
How many animals do you have right now?
I have 5. 3 dogs and 2 cats.
Did they travel with you?
The 2 cats and the 2 little wiener dogs do, but the big dog, she stays home.
Really? The cats travel with you. Do they like that?
Oh, they love it.
In the truck with you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Some cats like that and some don't.
Well, we got them as babies, so they're very used to it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that tip there and the hint.
Sure.
Steroids, very good. Ask your veterinarian if he feels that steroids are the way to go if your dog is allergic, or your cat. Works great for the cat, too. He'll let you know. We appreciate your call.
Well, we appreciate your show.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
I said enough. Hey, gang, this is the Money Man, Eddie Money. Make sure you spay to your pets and keep the dial right here to Animal Radio. It's the greatest station in the world.
Remember, the advice you hear on today's show is for entertainment purposes only. Please be sure to consult your own vet regarding your pet.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. all across the globe. This is Animal Radio. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Wow, I just got one of those deja vus.
What's that?
Like I've been here before. Does that ever happen?
Yeah, in the studio. It happens all the time.
You booked a big show today
We have a really big shoe today.
from MASH. And I still watch that on Nickelodeon. I love that show.
It's still on, yes.
Gary Berghoff, he plays Radar O'Reilly. He's a big animal lover on the show. He's a big animal lover in real life, and he'll be joining us today. Also, your medical questions for your pet, 1-866-405-8405 with our Animal Radio veterinarian, and of course, at his brand new radio home, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, Vlade. What do you got coming up today?
Yes, I'm very excited to talk about the bad things and about the good things, but I would love to share with your listeners horrific statistics about canine aggression. We already have a situation where our best friends, man's best friends, turns into its worst enemy. We have a really epidemic of canine aggression in this country. Dogs bite Americans more than any other nation in the world, and I will tell you why. As far as giving the people cure and solutions for these problems, I also will share my success how to combat any unruly problems in the pets. Of course, I will give answers to the callers, and everything will be here on the Animal Radio, exclusively for the Animal Radio.
Let's clear some lines. Hi, who's this?
This is Melanie from Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Melanie. How you doing today?
Good, except I have a little bit of a cat fight going on at home.
A cat fight at home. Uh-oh, okay. What's going on?
Well, I had found a road cat about a year ago. Assumed she was about 4 months old at the time. Ended up being a great cat. We love her dearly. Had an opportunity to get a kitten on Friday. And the big cat doesn't like little cats too much.
Ooh. How did you introduce them?
Probably not correctly.
Okay.
I was just holding the kitten, actually, and she approached us.
What's the big cat's name?
Actually, her name is Junie.
Judy?
Junie.
Junie.
Junie. Junie.
Yeah, and what's the small cat's name? Have you named him yet?
The small cat has not gotten a name yet.
What is Junie doing to the small cat?
Well, she gets about 3 feet away, and her tail puffs out, and she haunches up, and her mouth opens as wide as a cat's mouth could open, and her teeth bare, and she just starts hissing.
Wow.
It's very scary. And then she gets this guttural growl. If I'm holding the big cat and the kitty walks by, she just starts growling like a dog almost.
Well, we have some good news for you.
It's gonna be some work.
It is a little bit of work, but we've seen this exact situation here at the Animal Radio Studios. One cat being introduced to the family. We thought there was going to be some big time fights going on for a while. They're little lovers now. They just curl up and cuddle, and they're best of friends. How did we deal with that?
Well, the big cat, when it sees a little kitten, views it as prey.
Yum.
That's what I thought.
Tasty treat.
Something to chase. I don't know how you introduced him, but you can start from the very beginning.
And only because it was a few days ago.
Yeah.
So you can do this.
Yeah. You need to take the kitten and put him in a room. Make sure he has food, water, litter. Keep him in a room, and then let Junie have the run of the house. After a while, take the kitten out, put Junie into that room, and close the door.
The old swapperoo.
The old swapperoo. This will give Junie a chance to smell where the kitten has been and laid without the kitten actually being there. You'll want to do this for a few days. Keep them separate. Keep the kittens separate overnight. If you do have them out together, make sure they're supervised at all times.
Shouldn't you play with them together so that one understands the other is not prey? And
you want to kind of distract Junie. Get a toy, like a fishing pole with, mouse on the end of or something, and play with them together so that Junie will be distracted from the kitten. And you'll have to keep them separate. Sometimes it'd just be a few days. Sometimes it could take a couple weeks. But don't leave them together unsupervised.
Okay.
It'll happen. They will come around. Once Junie realizes the kitten is not an edible treat or a threat, and that it's a family member, things will change. And we've seen it happen over and over, not only here at the studios, but we hear stories about this all the time. So I encourage people, if you just introduced a brand new cat to the household, don't get frustrated if it looks like they're not getting along at first. There's so many ways. We're going to actually send you a new kitten book that talks about introduction, okay?
Great.
We thank you for listening to Animal Radio. Let us know how it works out. Let us know what the kitten's name is, okay?
I sure will. I hope it works out because my old English sheepdog, who is huge, loves the kitten. They have bonded already.
Well, you see, this is good because the sheepdog is showing Junie that this is a family member and not prey. So that's good. You're on your way there.
Good.
Okay.
Glad to hear it. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Hang tight for 1 second. We need to get some information from you. 1-866-405-8405.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Jim Humphries for Animal Radio. Pet owners love to spend money on their pets, no question about it. But what happens when their dog is hit by a car or the cat needs an emergency surgery? Advances in medical care for pets have made miracles possible, but it also comes with a great price. What are the options to help with these unexpected pet costs? Between the United States and Canada, pet owners will spend more than $45 billion on their four-legged family members. But a specific trauma event or a serious illness can devastate personal finances or potentially lead to heart-wrenching decisions. Fortunately, the availability of pet insurance, pet health savings plans, and even credit cards for pets will help some owners keep their pets around a little longer. The problem? Consumer advocates don't think this is a good plan. Pet insurance is not a brand new idea. Actually, it's been around for more than 25 years. In general, you pay the veterinarian for the services that are done and then submit a claim to the company. After deductibles are applied, the pet insurance company will send out a check based on the type of plan you have. Although you won't get 100% of your money back, it certainly will help ease the financial burden. But some consumer advocates don't agree. Consumer Reports has stated that insurance is only beneficial if something catastrophic happens to your pet. They recommend placing the premiums into a savings account instead. Veterinarians as a whole have not been overly receptive of pet insurance over the years either. Many become afraid that the managed care system might burden the process with paperwork. And some fear being disappointed by the pet insurance denial of claims. Jack Stevens, founder of Pets Best Insurance, has other thoughts. He says medical problems don't wait until you've saved enough money and then stay within the savings that you've accumulated. Jack points out also that Americans are not known to be good savers. If only a few pet owners are utilizing some sort of pet insurance or savings plan, what are the other options? Fortunately, for some pet owners, Care Credit may be the solution. Care Credit offers several flexible payment options that allow clients to make payments over several months. But like other lines of credit, interest rates can skyrocket if the balance is not paid within a specific time. The advances in veterinary medicine over the past few decades have been absolutely amazing. But there are costs associated with the life-saving skills and all that high-tech equipment. If your pet suffers a traumatic injury or has a very serious illness, make sure you understand the costs as well as the procedures. Talk with your veterinarian about the options that are available to you to pay the bill. And be proactive in planning for your pet's health care. For the Veterinary News Network at myvnn.com, I'm Dr. Jim Humphries reporting for Animal Radio.
Hey, you want to keep a secret from your dog? It's the new fish sticks from Canine Caviar. They're good for your dog's teeth, gums, and also his achy joints. And fish sticks from Canine Caviar are 100% natural, completely digestible, and contain no chemical preservatives, additives, or fillers, and they're low in calories. But don't tell your dog that. All they care about is that they taste good. Get your dog fish sticks at caninecaviar.com. That's www.caninecaviar.com.
Buddy, don't do that.
Don't worry, lots of dogs eat grass.
Didn't you hear? Dogs can get worm infections from eggs and larvae in the grass. Those parasites can even infect humans.
I know. That's why I give my dog Safeguard Canine Dewormer twice a year. It's a safe and easy way to eliminate and prevent the major intestinal worms that infect dogs, and to protect my family against infection.
Where can I find out more?
Just visit www.safeguard.com. That's SAFE-GUARD.com.
Flabusin keeps cartilage, tendons, and ligaments healthy and joints flexible. Hear what people are saying about Flabusin.
Concerning my dog Zodiac, I started her on the Flabusin probably about a month and a half ago. I have to tell you, for a 13-year-old German Rottweiler with spinal arthritis, she made a turnaround in less than 7 days. We had thought that we might be losing her this year and have to put her down, but she seems to be really reacting to it very well.
To find out more, visit www.yourolderdog.com. That's yourolderdog.com.
Animal Radio is being brought to you by the American Red Cross, providing you with information and training to protect the dogs and cats you love. For more information, visit redcross.org or petcentric.com, a proud supporter of the American Red Cross.
Hi, I'm Jay Moore, and as a sports fan, I can tell you there's nothing quite better than spending a day in the park playing catch with a beautiful lady. Like Shirley, my dog. Listen, adopt a pet. They are the most loyal companions you will ever have. Visit pets911.com or call 1-888-PETS-911. Hooray!
For more information, go to pets911.com. Proud to be a partner of Animal Radio.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. From all across the globe, this is Animal Radio. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
We want to welcome a brand new member to the Animal Radio family to answer your questions. Dr. Jill Richardson. Hi, Doc. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Can I call you Dr. Jill? Can we just all call you Dr. Jill? Will that work?
That's what everybody calls me, my mom.
Even your mom, okay.
My mom calls me that.
1-866.
If she doesn't, I smack her across the face.
You make her do that. It's mandatory for her to do that. Okay, I like that. 1-866-405-8405 if you want to talk to Dr. Jill. Coming up on today's show, Gary Berghoff, is that correct?
That's correct.
I'm reading that right. Okay, Gary Berghoff, Radar from MASH.
Uh-huh.
And this will be his second or third time on the show.
I think so, somewhere around there.
He's a big-time animal lover.
Loves those animals.
Also, this is a wonderful story. This is a heart warmer. Imagine having a pet turtle of 50 years.
Wow.
And it escapes when you leave the gate open.
Oh,
Not
no.
a fast animal, but it escapes.
Uh-huh.
And you lose an animal like that after 50 years, you could be very heartbroken. This happened to 90-year-old? 90-year-old Ray Stenson. But the turtle is back. That's the good news. It's all good news. And we'll be yapping with him, in a few minutes here?
Uh-huh.
Very good. Let's take our first call, 1-866-405-8405. Hi, who's this?
Javier.
Hi, Javier. How are you doing?
Okay. Actually, I had a question about my dog. He's getting old, and I guess I think, is it normal for old dogs to get tumors and stuff?
You mean little? What do you mean exactly? Does he have growths all over his body?
He's got one in his underneath his eyelid. He had one under his paw, and then another one on his. Because I groom him all the time because I love him very much. Anyway, he's got one on his neck. It's black and it kind of excretes black stuff. And there's another one that's on his eye that's kind of like white stuff. So.
What kind of dog is he?
Half chow, half probably Akita, I would imagine.
So he's got really thick fur too, right? So he might have some more you can't even see.
For sure.
You fill him over really well.
I'm sorry?
Do you if you fill over his whole body and that's about the only one you see?
Yeah. What happens because over here in California, we get these goat heads and these fox heads. I don't know. I used to live in Iowa, but I forget if they're over there. Anyway, they embed themselves, of course, and they keep traveling in. So that's why I check. When we walk.
Okay, good. And how old is he?
He's about 12, going on 13.
Okay. What's his name?
Fluke.
Luke?
Fluke, because that's where, back in '96 is when that movie came out.
Oh, Fluke. Okay. The thing about growths, as an animal gets older, they do develop little warts. They can develop warts or growths or anything. And the interesting thing is that a normal growth, like a wart, which is going to be benign, can look exactly like a malignant tumor, which could be cancerous. And the only way to figure out the difference, you can't look at them until your veterinarian would actually need to take a sample of the cells from that growth and look at it underneath a microscope or send it off to a specialist that can figure out if it is a benign tumor or a malignant tumor. If it's a benign tumor, dogs can function fine with it. He may look a little strange to people and scary to children if he's got a lot of growth on his body, but it really wouldn't hurt him unless it causes him problems, with mobility, or if it's, with that one that's oozing, that doesn't sound good because that could lead to an infection.
Right. I talked to my local vet, and he said it's some kind of like a tear duct that can turn kind of backwards and start exuding this cottage cheese.
Oh, the fluid. Yeah. Yes, you may want to bring him in and have him take a look at that, and then while he's if you go ahead and have that taken off, and while he's under, they could take samples of the other ones just to make sure that they're benign, that they're not going to be a problem.
But
and like I said, it's really hard to tell the difference unless you do have a sample of it.
But it's not like something like that's like very drastic that I'm going to lose them within 6 months, or
Well, the only way you know for sure is to take a sample and have somebody examine it, and they can tell you exactly what kind of cells they are, and you can't just tell by looking at it.
But I caught it enough that it's small enough that it can be dealt with, right?
Yeah. So the sooner you take him in and have it checked, the better.
That's what I thought. Okay, cool.
Thank you for your call, Javier. 1-866-405-8405. Now, we're linked to you live. You're in New Jersey, is that correct?
I'm in beautiful New Jersey.
Beautiful New Jersey. Now, I understand the last few weeks there's been a smell in New York, and they say it's coming from New Jersey. Do you know anything about that?
They always say that. It's not New Jersey that smells bad. It's Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
1-866-405-8405. It's Animal Radio, celebrating our connection with our pets. We do it every weekend. We thank you for joining us. Go ahead, grab your pets. Bring them over to the radio. We actually have some high-frequency noises that only your dogs can hear. And they're actually being entertained on another level as we in the human voice range talk right now.
You're not feeding them any subliminal messages or anything
but there are two shows going on, one for the dogs and one for you. Vlade, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
You're always talking about treating the dogs like they're dogs and not like humans.
Dogs must be treated as the dogs. In fact, dogs want to be treated as the dogs. Listen, people, if the God wants to create, instead of dogs, the humans, he would create them as the humans. But they came to us as the dogs, and we love them because they are the dogs and not as the humans. You can sleep with your dog in the bed. You can, bathing them in the bathtub with you together. You maybe can feed them out of your table, maybe giving them Russian caviar with Russian vodka. But they still the dogs. And if you will treat them as the humans, they will treat you as the dogs.
Ooh, okay. So you can love them up, but remember, they're the dogs, and you got to be in control. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. It's the same thing like with the parents and kids. Back in Europe, we don't believe kids and parents needs to be equals. We don't believe in any friendship around. We just believe when the parents becoming friends to their kids are growing, not raising. It's always demarcation line, and there is no loss of the love or something. This is just demarcation of the line. We say, you don't talk to the parents this way. Talk to your friend that way. That's it.
1-866-405-8405. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, thanks.
Where are you calling from?
Michigan.
Michigan? Where in Michigan?
Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids. You're pretty nearby.
Sarah, you calling to the Michigan guy. Go ahead.
Well, I have a Siberian Husky, and she's developed a pattern of attacking very small dogs.
Oh, boy. I got to tell you, hell is going to right now yell at me again because I'm talk about the breed traits. Huskies has a beautiful eyes. Sounds like mine, but Huskies are great pets, but they are some problematic. If you don't train them right and socialize them right, we see in our practice
a lot of problems with the Huskies and Malamute. As a matter of fact, I am working right now in my boot camp in my home. One Husky brought all the way from Chicago, and I'm working with that pet. But Sarah, your question is, you have a Husky who is basically attacking small dogs. What about the big dogs?
Just fine. Plays. There's no aggression. She's perfect with them.
Okay, by attacking, did you mean you even had chance to just let her go and she will chase and kill and try to kill or bite, or you thinking about just having her on the leash and she goes after?
Well, both times the attack occurred, she was at a day camp. We were not supervising her, and they were playing in a penned area without leashes, and she actually bit the dogs and tried to pick them up and shake them to kill them, you know?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. I will tell you very, very honestly. From what you just told me, first of all, when it comes to this situation, I would tell you, don't risk it. You need to find a good qualified trainer in your area who would help you out. But from my perspectives, your chance to make your dog to love another little dogs, almost zero.
Okay.
What you can do, the best case scenario, to teach her tolerate and be around in other pets, little pets, and don't go after. And it can be done again by implementing two things. Number one, teaching her walk without pulling. You know, the Huskies likes to pull, and that's genetic, that's the breed traits, because if they don't like to pull, they haven't been chosen for reproduction. So they like to pull tremendously. So you need to put the pinch collar on them and implement my approach of the dog training, which is reverse directions and snap in the opposite directions. You can visit my website 911dogwizard.com and check out DVD Obedience for Life. But another thing also, you need, so the goal is, you will focus your dog on you. Once your dog focus on you, she cannot be focused on another little or big, whatever pets at the same time. So make her worry on you more than she worry in other pets. Now, the thing is, you can make even the good, strong corrections, whatever you will do, but she will not take it from you because she doesn't assume you are the leader. That is why you need to establish also a system of rules, discipline, and structures. I'm going to give you a couple of them. The rest you can find from DVD. For instance, never eat before, never feed her before you eat. Always make her stay away from your table when you're working on the desk or eating. Make her wait before you go inside and outside of for any entrance, any doorstep for your house. Ignore her. See, dog training, especially when you're having problem dogs, it's like dating the boys. The more attention you give, the less you will get in return. The more attention you will give to her, the less you will get in return. The less attention you will give to her, the more dear it will be for her. So, by doing a lot of implementing rules of canine culture, which is never give any commands you cannot enforce, always reinforce, and such, will put you in the lead position. And doing obedience training together, it will really, really put you in the leadership position. In your situation, if you have qualified professional trainer, I also would use electronic collar as well. And I'm not afraid to say it on national radio because I believe it's a great tool and can be used intelligently in your situation as the last resort. But it must be used just under supervision of professional, because people, even plastic knife in the wrong hands, can be extremely dangerous weapon. But send me an email because you're from Michigan. I will give you more detailed approach. You can also contact me from Vladi@animalradio.com. Okay?
All right. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your help.
1-866-405-8405.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
This is Fred Willard on Animal Radio. Remember to spay and neuter your animals. I've had it done to me. It's not that rough.
This is an Animal Radio News Update made possible by the Simple Solution Natural line of 100% biodegradable pet care products.
Hello, I'm Kay Brown reporting for Animal Radio.
Sometimes rescuers need a little help themselves. In the United Kingdom, the tables were turned when a St. Bernard, a breed commonly known for saving people, got into a spot of bother on a British beach and had to be rescued by the Cornwall Coast Guard. Arnold, a 95 kilo, that's 15 stones, St. Bernard Cross Mastiff, hates the water, but followed another dog down steps to a beach but got cut off by the rising tide. It took 6 burly lifeboat men to wrestle the podgy pooch into a fishing net and carry him to safety on the lifeboat. But it's not the lifeboat's only animal rescue. In the past 12 months, they've saved 40 dogs, 5 horses, 4 dolphins, and 11 sheep. A Japanese parrot, which escaped from his home, did exactly as he'd been taught when strangers tried to help him. He recited his name and address. However, the bird didn't spill the beans to the cops, who initially took him to a police station. It was only when he was taken to a vet clinic that the bird announced, "I'm Mr. Yosuke Nakamura." The clever African grey also gave his address before entertaining staff with songs until the real Mr. Nakamura arrived to take him home. It seems the birds are smarter in Japan than their drug detection officers, who planted some cannabis in a suitcase chosen at random to make detecting the drug more realistic for the trainee sniffer dogs. Oops. The sniffer dog failed to find the stash, and the officer couldn't remember which bag he had picked, meaning some unsuspecting passenger flew into Tokyo carrying $9,000 worth of cannabis, compliments of Japanese customs officials. A British university student suffered serious friction burns when he saved a small dog from certain death after the pup's lead was caught inside a moving train. Dar Pardon was on his way home from a Pink Floyd concert and had just got off a train when he spotted the pup being dragged along the platform. Despite onlookers warning of the dangers, the 18-year-old snapped the nylon lead with his bare hands, getting first-degree burns for his efforts. Police later reunited the pup with its owner, who'd apparently fallen asleep on the train and had contacted authorities fearing his pup was dead on the tracks. What a lucky escape. And lastly, the ex-wife of Beatles Sir Paul McCartney has taken her promotion of veganism to a whole new level in a new book on how to get healthy without meat. Ms. Mills reckons the world would be better off without cows, and she has the perfect cure for global warming. The former Mrs. McCartney suggesting we should drink dog's milk, or her personal favourite, rat's milk. She hasn't actually volunteered to do a taste test, though. That's our Pet News Wrap-Up. I'm Kay Brown, reporting for Animal Radio. For more information, go to pettalkradio.com.au.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update, brought to you by the Simple Solution Natural line of 100% biodegradable pet care products. Get more at animalradio.com.
Does that pesky pet stain keep reappearing after you've cleaned it with a household cleaner? Try Simple Solution Stain and Odor Remover. Simple Solution is formulated specifically for pet stain and odors. The unique enzyme and probacteria formula breaks down the glue-like proteins in pet urine, then absorb all the leftover particles, leaving your carpet completely free of harmful residue. So no more magical reappearing acts or pets returning to the area. Simple Solution products are available at pet specialty stores nationwide.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. From all across the globe, this is Animal Radio. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
We have a lot of animals in studio. We have a box turtle. Is that a box turtle?
That's a little box turtle. Isn't he cute?
He is cute. And that over there is a, what do they call it? Oh, snapping turtle.
Snapping turtle. Mm-hmm.
Stay away from the snapping turtle. These are mostly your guys. This is, I'm just learning about the reptiles.
Yes.
But
I've always loved turtles. My mother had turtles when I grew up.
Your mother had turtles? It seems like a great pet to have.
Yes, we had about a dozen of them in our backyard.
As long as you don't put them in your mouth, you won't get salmonella, and you wash your hands afterwards.
Yes,
they're great pets. But there's the story of a very special turtle. The turtle's name, Little Joe, and we get Little Joe's guardian, Ray Stenson, on the phone. Hi, Ray. How are you doing?
Well, it's a beautiful day.
Where are we calling you today?
Santa Fe Springs, California.
Santa Fe Springs, California. Can you tell us the story of Little Joe, and how long has Little Joe been part of the family there?
Well, since 1952 or 3.
Wow. Wow.
He was full grown when he was given to us.
And how long do they normally live?
Over 100 years old.
Wow. So this particular turtle probably was the kid's turtle?
Well, he was young lad, what had happened, the freeway was coming through and buying the houses.
Oh.
He had to move, and he didn't have any place to take his turtle, so he gave it to my son.
Okay.
And my son dug a little hole in the yard and built a little home for him. And then when he went off to college and we moved him with us. Yesterday, or day before yesterday, he came out under the porch, and then when we went over to sit in the chairs, he came over with us. We fed him some lettuce, some hibiscus flowers, and some grapes. And he ate an awful lot, I thought.
He's had a big experience in the last few weeks, hasn't he? Didn't he run away from home or get lost or something? What happened exactly?
Well, what happened is we left the gate open. He was always watching. It seemed like he could sense when that gate would be open. He'd be over there and go. Anyway, he got out and he wandered up 2 houses from us. And some woman came by who had lost her turtle, and when she spotted it, she stopped. And the little children that were playing with it, he told them he thought it was her turtle.
Oh, no.
So she picked him up and took him home. But when the ad got into the in the Whittier Daily News...
Oh, you put an ad in the paper?
Well, I didn't put an ad. They came out and interviewed me.
And this was when Little Joe was missing. The Whittier Daily News came out and they interviewed you.
Yes.
Okay.
Then they put that on the front page in the paper.
Slow news day, I imagine.
Yeah, and I had a call before 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I've got your turtle.
Oh, you mean the lady who picked it up thought it was her turtle, saw that in the paper, and realized that it was your turtle?
Yes.
How do you tell turtles apart?
Well, ours had a decided limp. One of its legs is, but when some kids were over playing one day, one hit him with a 2x4, I guess, and broke his leg.
Oh, no.
That wasn't very nice.
Well, I'd say for the first time in 50 years for him to get out the gate there,
he'd been out before.
Oh.
You know what my mother used to do? She used to take fingernail polish, and she would paint the address on the bottom of the shell.
Oh, how clever is that? Oh, I like that idea. Have you put any identification on Little Joe now?
Well, no, I haven't. I think that's a very, very, very clever idea.
Why not mark the turtles?
We did have to get a license for him.
Oh, you do? You need a license there for a turtle, huh?
Well, it's just for identification.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't take it back to the desert.
Not that it would want to go back to the desert after a diet of hibiscus and grapes and lettuce.
Probably not. We've enjoyed him, and when we sit out under our lemon tree in our easy chairs, he comes over to join us, and we let him have some lettuce. But he really enjoys hibiscus flowers. You know, if I have lettuce there, he's eating it, and if I put down some hibiscus flowers, he'll quit the lettuce and go get the hibiscus. I figured he's eating his dessert.
I want to congratulate you. You recently got married. And how is your wife taken to Little Joe? Does she like him? Has she ever had a turtle?
She's taken to him. He comes up and comes up to her and puts his nose up against her hand, and yeah, she kind of adopted him. I think she says she can't believe that she ever would have taken to a turtle, but yeah, she's like you say. We were married in July 14th last year.
Do you mind me asking how old you are?
90.
90 years old, and you just got, is this your first marriage or second marriage?
Oh, second marriage for both of us.
Wow. Oh, that is so heartwarming.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, her husband died a few years ago, and my wife died a couple of years ago. And we knew each other back in North Dakota when we went to school.
If she didn't like Little Joe, would it have worked out? Your new wife would have to have liked Little Joe, right?
Yep. No doubt about that. He's part of the family, you know. Yeah, I built a little block house for him. He's got a better house than I have.
How wonderful. That's a wonderful story. I'm glad little Joe is home. Congratulations on your nuptials there. And go please give little Joe a big old sloppy kiss from all of us here at Animal Radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
The Animal Minute is brought to you by Urinoff, the #1 vet-recommended urine odor and stain remover. To purchase, visit www.urinoff.com. Urinoff, finally something that works.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too.
Oh, what a beautiful ring. Is it a diamond? A sapphire? A cat? Pet owners are getting creative with pet cremation. While most owners go for the traditional grave in the backyard or a cremation urn, some owners are having their pets made into jewelry. Paperweights, crystals, and jewelry have all been created by Life Gem, a company which can turn a doggy into a diamond for about $2,000 to $25,000. There's also Floramorial, a company which makes soil that converts cremated ash into a planting medium to grow a memorial flower. Other owners opt to keep their pets' ashes in a thumb-sized urn so they can take it with them wherever they go. You can even get a huggable plush toy filled with your pet's ashes. It's all just a way of showing that dog is man's best friend, or maybe diamonds are a girl's best friend, or maybe a little of both. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
There's lots of reasons to need a urine odor and stain remover. Your dog's afraid of thunderstorms. Cat hates being alone. You've moved into a new house, but there's only one reason to buy Urinoff, because it actually works. Urinoff's high-performance formula gets to the source of the problem and removes it permanently, even cat urine. Many odor removers claim to work, but thousands of loyal Urinoff customers, even vets, swear by it. If urine odor is a problem in your home, reach for Urinoff, the odor remover that actually works. Available exclusively at www.urinoff.com or your local vet.
Hey, you want to keep a secret from your dog? It's the new fish sticks from Canine Caviar. They're good for your dog's teeth, gums, and also his achy joints. And fish sticks from Canine Caviar are 100% natural, completely digestible, and contain no chemical preservatives, additives, or fillers, and they're low in calories. But don't tell your dog that. All they care about is that they taste good. Get your dog fish sticks at caninecaviar.com. That's www.caninecaviar.com.
Flabusin keeps cartilage, tendons, and ligaments healthy and joints flexible. Hear what people are saying about Flabusin.
Concerning my dog Zodiac, I started her on the Flavacine probably about a month and a half ago. I have to tell you, for a 13-year-old German Rottweiler with spinal arthritis, she made a turnaround in less than 7 days. We had thought that we might be losing her this year and have to put her down, but she seems to be really reacting to it very well.
To find out more, visit www.yourolderdog.com. That's yourolderdog.com.
Did you know that dogs can get worm infections just from eating grass, and that those same parasites can also infect humans?
Ew, gross.
Thank goodness there's a safe and easy way to eliminate and prevent the major worms that infect dogs. Safeguard Canine Dewormer. Just sprinkle it on your dog's food twice a year.
And that's it?
Yep. For more information, visit www.safe-guard.com. That's SAFE-GUARD.com. It's the best way I know to protect my dog and my family against intestinal worm infections.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. From all across the globe, this is Animal Radio. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Every day I comb the news here at Animal Radio. We have some pretty good news sources here.
Yes, we do. Great news stories about animals.
The one unfortunate story that seems to come up every day, at least for the last few months, is the animals being abandoned and forgotten about because of the foreclosure crisis. People just getting up and leaving their animals. Mm-hmm. Many families that can't afford to keep their animals healthy just because they don't make enough money, they're trying to pay that mortgage payment or their rent or food and your bills. Oh, it's so tough to do it these days. You know, there's no stranger to Animal Radio, Amy Amin. She, the book, Hip Ideas for Hyper Dogs.
There you go.
A great book, by the way. I brought her back on because she's going to give us some tips how we can not cut corners, but cut costs without cutting corners. Hi, Amy. How you doing?
Oh, I'm just doing great.
Let me grab a pencil here because I want to write these down because I, like everybody else, am trying to make these payments as well as keep my pets healthy, and I'd like to know some ways to cut back. So,
yeah, it can be very expensive to own a pet, but, you know, there are ways that you definitely can save money without, as you said, sacrificing good care. First, if someone has not yet acquired a dog, the selection process can really save you big money. Consider adopting from a shelter. I know that you are always advocating that, and that's, to me, the best money-saving strategy. I would prefer to get an adult. I mean, for one, I really do prefer adult dogs. And they bond every bit as well as a puppy. They tend to acclimate to training even faster than a young puppy because they have no history of behavior in your household. And you can jump right into training right away, and you can avoid some of the damage that's almost unavoidable with these young puppies when they are being housebroken.
So what you're saying is that it's really cheaper to start with an older pet. Even though you may want the young puppy, that's fine. You can go for the young puppy, but it's going to cost you more, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. So next step is really take a look at training. A lot of people think, oh, I can't afford to pay for training. You can not afford not to pay for training. Talk about one thing that people avoid that is going to end up proving, how do you say, penny wise and puppy foolish.
Okay.
You want to make sure that you don't send your dog away for training. That's a very expensive route to go. If you learn with your dog what is expected and how to elicit the proper type of behavior, that's the smartest way to go.
Every time I pop open a can of food, it's at least $1.50. It's pretty expensive, but I don't want to give them bad food. I want to make sure they have good food.
The high-quality food is really important. But, you know, the canned food in general is not of a higher quality than dry food. It is more palatable to dogs. They like to eat it, but that's just like we would rather eat ice cream than Brussels sprouts. There are excellent quality foods available in the dry formula, which not only is going to save you money, but also is going to be more, or I should say less likely, to promote finicky eating behavior.
Hip Ideas for Hyper Dogs is the book. I believe these are all listed in Hip Ideas for Hyper Dogs. Is that correct?
Yes, they are.
The book is worth the investment. Right there.
Absolutely.
Amy Amann, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me, Hal.
Dogclass.com is the website. Of course, links to everything you've heard on today's show at animalradio.com.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. From all across the globe, this is Animal Radio. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
You know, a few minutes ago we were talking about dog bites. It's an epidemic in America, isn't it, Bloody?
It is. And we have about 5 million dog bites in this country alone. Dogs bites Americans more than any other nation in the world. And going to the emergency after dog bites is the second leading cause.
Wow.
And, going to emergency. And I got to tell you, my friends, if I were a dog, I would bite Americans too.
Really?
You know why?
Why?
Because if you treat me, guys, as the human, I will treat you back as the dog if I were the dog. That's the law of canine culture. Dogs very easily confuse American kindness for weakness. Once American shows the weakness, dog shows the strength.
1-866-405-8405. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Lori.
Hi, Lori. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you today?
Splendid. Where are you calling from?
I am a truck driver, and right now I'm going through Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Lori, do you like our show?
Oh, yeah. I listened to it last week,
No.
and
Tell me first.
it was marvelous. I'm addicted.
Oh, you're addicted. So do you like the Vladi?
Oh, I sure do, and I'm hoping you can help me out with my dog problem.
Okay, I will do, but just stay. So everybody, so right now, millions of people listening to you. Say, I love Vladi.
I love Lottie.
Thank you. Now you can give me a question. I give you an answer. What? It's a Russian bribe. It's a piola. It's a Russian way.
Okay, I rescued a little dog. He was about 6 months old, and
God bless your heart.
I had him neutered and got him back to health. And my question is, he's now 4, and I just don't understand why he's always wanting to hump other male dogs.
So he has a sexual, he is has a wrong orientation, or he does it for the males or for females? For whom? I'm just curious.
I don't know. Is there such thing as a gay dog? I don't know. Sorry. No. No, it's just
so he's humping female or male? Come on. Or every dog.
And that's all he wants is a male dog.
He's humping males, Vlade.
Yeah. Okay, he's helping males. Okay, guys. Okay. I never heard about. I mean, sometimes people tell about gays and the dog culture and such and such. I don't believe in that type of a thing. I believe it's about two things. About, like in the human pack, sexual overactivities, and second, just sometimes has nothing to do to the sexuality and has to do to the dominance. So what I would do in this situation, first of all, I would definitely address the cause, and after that, I would definitely deal with the symptoms. What I would do if I were you, I would enroll him in the good class of the dog training. I would not do the private training in your situation. I would do find good, great, like conventional way of the dog training, like conventional trainers. Check dogpro.org in your area, dogpro.org, and get a good trainer who would do the great classes in your area. So you're going to kill two birds with one stone. Number one, it's a Russian expression, sorry, Judy.
We use that too here in America.
Yeah, okay, good. So number one bird would be you establishing your self-control over your dog. Number two, you will expose him to a lot of dogs, and you will establish self-control. A lot of times my clients say, Vladi, the dogs behave, but there is never dogs. The dogs have certain instincts. Nothing you can do about that, especially when sexual instincts. Excuse me, people, I also have a sexual instincts. When I walk down the street and I see the beautiful woman down the street, you know what? I want to jump on her too, but I have self-control. So your dog must have self-control too. So the obedience training, there is nothing you can do yourself. Enroll in the classes, in the group classes, and that is going to happen. Your dog will be around a group of the dogs, but he cannot do anything because he will be corrected. And he will used to be around another dogs, males or females, without anything doing in return. It's like with the man being on the nuder beach, and in the
nude beach.
Nude beach, yes. Okay. In the beginning, it's and after that, it's nothing. It's just nothing. So, and after that, when you do this, I would give you my secret for success to stop him from jumping. As far as giving you aspirin for this headache, you can use the objects flying through the air, as far as shaking can or mystical acoustic bag with the very tiny, very little, which now you have to toss at the dog's shoulder blade as you make the noise. Boom, like tap on the shoulder. Hey, what you doing here? You can see how to do that from my online video on 911dogwizard.com. 911dogwizard.com. You go to the online video section and see how that price. It's nothing is cruelty involved. It's not tossing on the dog stones, or it's a duplicating way how the dogs snapping each other by the shoulder blade. We just using the items like transferable teeth. So it sounds easy. It's not. Just look at that. Or like I said, CO2 tire inflator. Any bicycle store has it. It's going to be very easy for you because you are the truck driver. You push the button, it's emit, that type of the reaction. Yeah. And you're not going to be scared and jumps back and you say, good boy, and praise him. And you know what? He will try to hump another male 5 times, and 5 times you need to stop it. And if you win 5 consecutive battles and this issue, you will win the war on that issue.
Hold on, Lori. We're going to get you one of Vlade's DVDs, which anyone can get. Vlade's talking
What's
a little
wrong
bit of
with you
Russian.
today? Did you have some vodka, Hal?
You can.
I sent you a couple of bottles yesterday, 1 week ago. I guess you try. Don't do it at your work. Even in Russia, we never drink the vodka as we work.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're not trained well.
Well, you know,
See, I train well. I have vodka right now, but I train well. For me, it's nothing.
You wouldn't even notice.
I know. I noticed, of course, because you can't even connect 2 words today.
How long have I been in the business? Well, Lori, we're going to send you one of the DVDs that Vlade has put together. And, of course, anyone can order those at 911dogwizard.com. And, of course, we link to everything that you hear on today's show at animalradio.com. How's that, Vlade?
That's awesome. Thank you. Good boy.
That's all we have time for this hour. Remember, we're streaming online 24/7 at animalradio.com.
And remember to spay and neuter, always adopt, and never declaw.
This is Animal Radio
Network.
And welcome back to Animal Radio, celebrating our connection with our pets. We've been doing this for, 5 years now?
Yes.
And on last March, we were very glad to announce that we began on XM Satellite Radio, Channel 158, every weekend, twice a weekend. And we noticed that all of a sudden, getting lots of phone calls from truckers.
They're listening, and they're out there. They have their animals with them.
Their dogs, even their cats, birds, they're traveling across the country. They call themselves, OTRs? Over-the-road truckers? I don't know. You know what? Let's get the expert on. We have Sue Wise on the phone. Hi, Sue. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Hal.
Are you a trucker, a former trucker?
Yes, I am. I'm an over-operator.
And they call that OTR?
OTR means over the road.
Oh, okay. Okay. And you started an organization recently which transports animals across the country, right?
That's correct. We started right after Katrina took place, and you were hearing all of the horror stories. You know, if you remember at that time, our heart was breaking for these pets and for the owners that didn't want to leave. And, you know, I was driving down the road just praying, and I asked the Lord, said, what can I do? I'm just a truck driver. You know, I'm not in any one spot. What can I do to help?
Uh-huh.
And I believe I heard one word, which was transport. And I go, huh?
Okay.
What do you mean transport? And talking with another driver friend of mine, Delcina, and then with my 2 daughters, they were both all 3 excited, and I'm still skeptical about it. They finally convinced me to get on one of the talk shows on Channel 171. So I finally did. I called in literally shaking in my shoes. And I just asked if there were any truckers interested in helping to transport animals across the United States, because I had gone on what is known as petfinder.com and found out this is an everyday need.
Uh-huh.
We had 8 listed on come-in applications today alone. We've got over 30 that need to be transported. And we need help.
Okay, well, this is your call right here. You're driving along, you're a trucker, you're brand new to Animal Radio, or you've been listening for the last few months. Perhaps you have your pet with you, maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to help out. You're going to a town anyway. You're moving that load. Why not bring an animal that needs to move from one part of the country to the other part of the country, right?
And think what great companionship that will be.
Besides, what most of the drivers have told me over the past 2.5 years is they feel like they're contributing back to the community. While they can't do much by not being at home, they can do this.
Okay, how can people sign up? How can truckers learn more?
One, they can call me to let me know what they want to do, but we have a brand new website. Go to OperationRoger.com.
OperationRoger.com. And we'll list that at animalradio.com. OperationRoger.com, you can learn more. And your phone number, you want us to put that on the website, or do you want to give it out?
Sure. I'll put it on the website. There's 2 numbers they can call. Sprint, which is for anybody, is 682-622-1172. That's 682-622-1172. Or for Verizon users, there's 817-602-6547. 602-6547.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, Operation Roger is what it's called. More information, all the links, the phone numbers at animalradio.com. Sue, you're doing wonderful work. Please keep us up to date.
Well, thank you, but we really need some dedicated drivers who will stay with us. We actually need about 5 drivers for every animal that comes on the board, and right now, like I said, we've got well over 30, and we're having trouble getting to them.
I think you're going to find them. I think they're listening right now.
I hope so.
Okay. Hold on for 1 second. There's more Animal Radio on the way.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Hi, this is Richard Karn from Home Improvement, and you're listening to Animal Radio. Now remember to spray and neuter your dogs. It's a good idea to spray and neuter your animals.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. From all across the globe, this is Animal Radio. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
And we are linked to New Jersey studios of Dr. Jill Richardson. Just call her Dr. Jill. She's like that. Do you have any pets there at the studio there? Are you allowed to bring your pets?
I do.
You do?
Yes, it's a very pet-friendly office. We have Daisy and Puzzle that live in the IT area pretty much most of the time. Their owner brings them in every day. We have Fish, wall-to-wall Fish. I have a hamster. I have a hamster named Bear. She sits at my desk. And there's a dog named TT that's got more clothes than I do that comes in pretty randomly around here. So this is not even like work. It's like coming to a zoo and going to a petting zoo and just having a good time. There's food everywhere, pets everywhere. We have candy, bowls and bowls of candy everywhere. It's really hard to stay on the diet in this place.
I want to work there.
Yeah.
Let's move to Animal Radio Studios.
1-866-405-8405. Hi, who is this?
Hi, it's Glenn.
Hey, Glenn, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Where are you calling from?
San Diego.
Beautiful, sunny San Diego.
Yeah, today.
You are on with our brand new on-call vet, Dr. Jill.
Hi, Dr. Jill.
Oh, hi, Glenn. How are you?
I'm good. I do have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Why did you name your hamster Bear?
Her name is Bare, after the Bear Contessa, and she's a black bear hamster.
Oh.
I didn't even know there was a black bear hamster.
There is, and she's got, her feet are bare, she's like barefooted. She doesn't have any hair on her feet.
I have learned so much today, Glenn. I know that's not why you called, though.
And she's on YouTube. She has her own video on YouTube where she's racing a race car.
I got to see that.
Yeah, we'll have to link
I'll
to
email
that.
it to you, Hal, and you can put it on your website.
Okay, sounds good. We'll put a link to Dr. Jill's Racing Hamster on the website at animalradio.com. Glenn, what can we do for you today?
Well, I have a Shih Tzu. He's about 10 years old, and every now and then he just starts chewing like crazy, like on the back of his butt area.
Oh.
And I think it has to do with fleas, but I don't know.
Is he trying to get to like his anal area, or is he scratching on his belly, or what is he doing exactly?
Well, it's not his anal area. It's kind of like his rump.
And are you seeing any fleas on him?
Well, no. We treated him with Advantage, but usually we sometimes we get it in time, sometimes we don't.
What time of the year is he doing it? Is he doing it in the summer, in the spring, or all year round?
Well, he's doing it right now. It's kind of spring here. If you're looking, you think it's flea season or?
Well, I think in your area it's flea season all year round, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But we try to keep control of that. But sometimes it just gets crazy,
Yeah.
And is there something I can put on it that will ease the irritation? Yeah.
It can get that way? Is it on one hip or both hips?
Oh, it's just one spot sometimes. Sometimes he'll aim for his wrist and start chewing there.
There could be many things going on. Shih Tzus have a lot of dermatological issues. So, as you probably already know, they have really bad ear infections almost all the time. They're prone to different types of allergies. Unfortunately, it's hard to figure out what an allergy is because a lot of allergies can look exactly alike. It could be a food allergy. It could be an allergy to some pollens in the air. It could be a flea bite allergy. It could be a grass allergy. There's so many things it could be, and it could even be a combination of allergies. Another problem that Shih Tzus have, my aunt has a Shih Tzu too, and this is one of the problems she has, is her anal glands get filled up. And she'll chew at her, hind end. Sometimes she scratches her, her hind end and scoots across the floor because she's sort of itchy from it.
Yeah.
Have you checked the anal glands to see if that may be the problem?
Yeah, I don't think that's it. And
okay.
I don't think it's a food allergy because his food is very consistent.
Well, they can develop a food allergy even if they've been on one food their whole life. They can just one day, become allergic to beef, and they can get itchy all over just because they have an allergy to beef or chicken or anything. But the fact that the skin's irritated, that's not good. The best thing would be, you want to keep it nice and clean and try to keep it clean and dry because an irritated skin can get to be infected really quickly. But it's probably a good idea to bring them into your vet and maybe, check about doing some allergy testings just to see what it is.
Uh-huh.
And if it does seem like it's seasonal, it could be something as simple as a grass allergy. A lot of dogs, when they're out in the morning and the grass is dewy and they get that wet grass on their fur, they can get really itchy from it. And it could be flea allergies. And even if your dog is on a really good flea preventative, if your dog is super sensitive to fleas, just one bite from a flea can make them be very itchy. But, with the Shih Tzu, they have a lot of skin problems. They're very prone to a lot of allergies and a lot of problems like that. And there's even an allergy, it's called an atopy, where they have allergies from things that they've inhaled, like pollens or different substances that they inhale, and they have an inhalant allergy where the skin has the issue even though they're inhaling the allergen through their nose.
Right. Now, this is located to one particular area. Does that make it more flea-related rather than allergy-related?
Well, with fleas, the classic sign of flea allergy dermatitis is hair loss and itchiness right above the tail bed. And you usually have a triangle of hair loss right above the tail bed. That's very, very classic for flea allergy dermatitis.
Right, and the tail bed is where the tail meets the body?
Yeah, right on the top. Like if you put your finger in a triangle right above the base of his tail on his back, usually if you have hair loss right there, that's very classic for flea allergy dermatitis.
Yeah, that's sort of the area.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then if it's right there, that could definitely be that. And you could, just check him over and see if you do see any fleas on him. And, maybe consider talking to your vet, maybe, switch to another flea preventative if you're still seeing fleas, or even maybe treat your home too. The fleas are horrible. They're just horrible. And when you see one flea on your dog, that means there's still, plenty of fleas in your environment in the immature stages. If you have a population of 100 fleas, 5 are going to be adults and 95% are going to be, egg, larva, or pupa stages. So even if you see 1 or 2 fleas, you could still have a problem. So it may be a good idea to do some home treatment or vacuum your carpets every 2 or 3 days. Keep your lawn very short, mow the lawn very short so you can help prevent flea stages in your grass, and get rid of sand and leaves and dirt and debris where the fleas can reproduce out there too.
Great.
Thank you, Glenn, for your call. 1-866-405-8405. Let us know how that works out. Dr. Jill Richardson joining us. Allergies, big problem this time of the year. We always hear about them at this time of the year. Is there, I know for humans, there's Benadryl and other medicines that we can use for allergies. Is there the same thing for cats and dogs?
Yeah, there's actually veterinary dermatologists for dogs, and these are veterinarians that have become board certified in dermatology, and they're experts in the field. And many drugs that are used in people are used in dogs. But it's not really safe to self-medicate your pet with your own medications. For example, with Benadryl, if you give your vet may recommend to give your pet Benadryl, and you'd really have to go through your vet and make sure your vet gives you the correct dosage and that it's appropriate for your dog. But if you give him too much, you're going to have a dog who is acting like he's on cocaine. He's going to be his heart rate's going to be going sky high. He's going to be very agitated. So dogs and cats don't act the same way that we do with medication. So it's always, before you give your pet anything, talk to your vet first.
1-866-405-8405 if you want to talk to Dr. Jill right now.
Listen to the news.
2 dogs rescued from a locked car.
Emergencies can happen anywhere, anytime. They can even affect your pets.
In other news, a local policeman saved a cat today.
Being prepared and knowing what to do can be the difference between life or death for you and your pets. The same Red Cross you know and trust is the leader in pet first aid preparation and education. Look for dog or cat first aid guidebooks with DVDs online at redcrossstore.org or contact your local Red Cross chapter for more information. The Red Cross is helping protect our pets.
Every year, there are millions of pets in animal shelters across the country just waiting for a loving home. I'm Mike Farrell with a very simple message. If you're thinking of getting a pet, please adopt. To easily locate your closest place to adopt, call Pets 911 toll-free at 1-888-PETS-911. It's easy, it's free, and it gives a pet a second chance at life. Together, we can ensure a better future for our pets.
For adoptable pet listings in your community, go to pets911.com. Pets 911, proud to be partnered with Animal Radio.
Did you know that dogs can get worm infections just by eating grass, and that those same parasites can also infect humans? Protect your dog and your family by deworming your dog twice a year with Safeguard Canine Dewormer. For more information, visit www.safe-guard.com. That's SAFE-GUARD.com.
Global Pet Finder is the world's first GPS location device for pets. Simply attach Global Pet Finder to your pet's collar and you can monitor your dog's location 24/7. Use our geofence feature or simply dial FOUND from your wireless device, and every 3 minutes, Global Pet Finder will send you a message with your pet's exact location. For more information, visit us at www.globalpetfinder.com and find peace of mind today.
Fido Friendly Magazine. Perhaps you can do without it, but for kibble's sake, think of your dog. At last, a voice for us traveling canines. Until now, few have taken mobile pooches seriously. After all, who appreciates warm shelter and a comfy bed more than a dog? Fido Friendly, the travel magazine for you and your dog. A quarterly guide to Fido-friendly accommodations in the United States and Canada. Because if Fido ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Subscribe at FidoFriendly.com. Your dog will thank you. Woof.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. From all across the globe, this is Animal Radio. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
But every year they do the marathon, the MASH marathon. We're talking about MASH here. Judy and I used to love that.
Watched it all the time. Still do, I have to admit.
Radar O'Reilly, Gary Berghoff, joins us today. He was a big pet lover in the actual series and is one in real life.
Well, he was one in real life, and then they kind of made the series after that.
That's true.
Combine his love in the series.
Which came first? Well, he'll tell us. He's also doing a lot of beautiful artwork. He's painting artwork on the coast of Florida. We'll find out what Gary Berghoff from MASH is up to. But first, let's take care of business with the world-famous Russian dog wizard. That, of course, is Vlade.
Vlade is here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Judy. Hello, Hal. This is Vlade reporting. Are you ready for the best show on Animal Radio for the Vlade guys?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay, be careful what you wish for, because it's coming.
It's a rough world out there, son. It's dog eat dog.
All right, you ready? Please listen.
Now, your host on Animal Radio, Vlade, the Russian dog wizard, the man behind the system and the phenomenon of the dog world. He's widely known as an international star in the dog training field. The former KGB dog trainer, Vlade can turn the most notorious canines from around the world into loving companions. When Vlade speaks, everyone listens.
Hello, everyone, and this is the Vlade, and I'm receiving a lot of calls and emails from the people asking me, Vlade, are you real? We're enjoying your show. It's so hilarious and such and such. I would like to tell you, my friends, I'm also a very serious dog trainer, and yes, I do like to combine it with entertainment. People call me Infotainer, which is information and entertainment together, but I do serious business, and I'm specialized in the lost cases. I am the former Red Army and KGB Soviet intelligence agencies, as you know, canine trainer. I have traveled all over the world training the most unruly canine with the great success using my one-of-a-kind method, which I derived from my mute and absolutely deaf
dog trainer mentor from Moscow. Guys, have you heard about the American expression like a sheep in the wolf's clothes?
Yes.
So my first mentor was the human in the dog's clothes.
Ooh.
So that's what it is, and it's a very, very serious. And another part of the question is people enjoying when I talk not just about the dogs, I talk about another subject in correlation, and they ask me why. And you know what? I feel myself like highly qualified. I never shared it with you, but I have my education as far as interest is very broadcast, very broad, not broadcast, broad-wide. I have a couple of master's degrees in different fields, and some of them in politics science and art of economics as well. So I do see the humans as the dogs. I do see, no matter where we live, in American democratic society, so-called, or in the pack of hyenas, the rules of the pack is ruling our pack. You know, my wife was one of my most of successful students, and the teacher as well. My wife Antonina, early in our marriage, momentarily showed to me where the boundary, where my fence line is. She always was the top alpha female, as we call, as the alpha bitch, and she told me, Vladi, you know what, as soon as we get married, and we lived in her apartment, and her apartment was a little bit bigger than the typical American two-dog crate back in Soviet Union. But she said to me, listen, Vladi, this is my crate, and you have to follow the rules which I established in this household. It means no girls, come home in the right time, and so on. And if you follow the rules, you will be treated as the top man, you will have top sex, and you will have top life. And if not, you will be kicked out of my crate with the speed of Russian satellite-guided missile. You know, and she always was that way. Right now, she's working in California, and she momentarily showed to everyone their fence line too. And this is the great. And females are my clientele. And I always tell them, and you know, the only way for succeed in this country for female, they needs to be assertive, they needs to be bitchy, because nice girl never gets the spacious den.
Can we take some calls, Vlade?
Yes, we can.
Okay, let's do that. 1-866-405-8405. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Randy.
Hey, Randy, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How y'all doing?
Very good. Where are you calling from?
Well, I'm coming into Los Angeles, California, driving a big truck.
Another trucker. You travel with your dog?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please don't call me sir. That's my dad. Or you can call Vlade sir. I know I have to salute and call him Sir Vladinator all the time. That's what...
Gladiator.
Gladiator.
That's going to be my new nickname. Randy, go ahead.
Okay. What I've got is a 4 or 4.5-year-old Sheltie.
Okay. Sheltie.
Yes, sir.
Sheltie is the... let me tell you, if the dog is like this, she can, you know, running all day long in the field, come back to you, or run all day long in your backyard and come back to you and say, what we're going to do next, you know? And after barking and chasing someone through the fence, or somebody knocking your door and she's barking like a Russian AK-47 downtown Beirut. Is it your dog?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so go ahead. What is your question? I know the answer. I have more answers than you have questions. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we were listening to your show the other day about getting dog neutered.
Okay.
Well, we done that to him and thought that might slow him down a little bit, but it didn't work. He's pretty aggressive. He's pretty aggressive with people around our truck. You know, he's pretty protective.
I tell you, you know what? You use the wrong texture of the word. She is not too protective. It's okay. She is in possession. In possession of the property which she thinks she's in charge. Listen, Sheltie, they're not the bad dogs at all. I saw so many people with Shelties who claim their dogs are aggressive, but in reality, those dogs just had freedom frustration. Freedom frustration, the way which the dog is developing by chasing someone, you know, like a mailman or somebody who is moving next to its window while the dog is inside of your house, or moving next to your truck back and forth, and you allow your dog to bark. So if I were you, what I would do first things in a row, I would stop her from barking at all. How can I do this? I would get a couple of shaking cans, pop cans with their pennies, and I'm going to buy bicycle tire inflator, CO2 inflator for $20 from the bicycle shop. And I will equip myself with those two tools. And every time when she barks, whatever it's in your backyard or in your house, I will sharply move forward, toss that object next to her as I make that pop can, not table, not chairs, please, not bricks, and I will sharply make that noise. Ah, boom! Stops it. She stops. Good girl. Now, every time when you are next to her or in your truck, I would shoot with this tire inflator product, CO2, and it's like a snake sound, and she boom. And you say, good girl. So the first thing you should stop her from barking at all. That would be 80% of the problem. Once you did it, after that, open the window a little bit from your truck and let some people, your friends, first she knows. And let me explain you. It's called double conditioning by Russian academic Pavlov. You gotta get some best cookie, preferably cheese or kalbasa, which comes from the plastic bag, make the noise. Someone sidewise, not frontwise, sidewise, approaching to your window, to the truck window, and tossing inside this piece, make the noise and toss inside that kalbasa of the cheese. Turn around, do it again, and do it with the many people. Eventually she will think the people comes in are the good people, not the bad people. So what I suggested to you, use combinative approach. Remember, people, just praising or just punishing is not going to work. You guys in the English has two words, yes and no. We in Russia has two words. Yes, da, and net. Net, it's a favorite word of President Putin, by the way, when he spoke to the bush. But yes, net, bush, net. So anyway, this approach would be work really well. But use them in the dramatic way. Sharply correct, sharply praise, and this is not even the problem.
Okay.
Every time people, when we have a problem, we have two choices. Or keep complaining about the problem, which is much easier, or take actions, which is much harder. You know, you're with Vladi, and the Vladi talks, we should listen. Because the Vladi is not in the business to extend anybody's level of stupidity. Never humans, never dog. It's not bullshit type of the dog training. What I say, it goes.
Hi, this is Rue McClanahan on Animal Radio. Spay and neuter your pets.
We welcome Dr. Jill Richardson to Animal Radio and the Animal Radio family. She's the on-call vet this hour. 1-866-405-8405 if you have a medical question. Tell us a little bit about your background and where you are now.
I guess I'll start from the beginning. I always wanted to be a veterinarian since I was a little girl, and had animals my whole life, and was fortunate to have a family that help support me with my animals, because when I was in school, you can't take pets when you go to school and live in a dormitory. And I worked in a veterinary practice for a couple years when I got out of vet school. But meanwhile, when I was in high school and junior high, I'd worked at veterinary clinics pretty much my whole life. And I did some time at the ASPCA Poison Control Center. I worked there for 7 years, and it was great. It was a great learning experience. So working there, I got to know a lot about toxicology and about pet safety, and that's always been my interest. And after that, I worked for an animal health company, and just recently I joined Zoo2, and I love Zoo2. Zoo2 is actually my favorite job out of all my jobs, even when I worked at Taco Bell. I worked at Taco Bell for a while, too.
What is Zoo2?
Yeah, Zoo2 is a free online pet community, and it's dedicated to pet lovers. And what I really like about it is that it helps support shelters and rescue groups. Right now, one of the things we're completing is a $1 million shelter makeover, and we're going to be launching a new one pretty soon in the fall, and I'm really excited about that.
And you can learn more at zoo2.com. Of course, we link to that from animalradio.com. Now, we're linking to you live in New Jersey. Is that the typical New Jersey accent?
No, no, it's not at all. I'm originally from West Virginia.
West Virginia, the diversity on Animal Radio. You turn on Animal Radio, you hear Vlade the Russian dog wizard and his thick Russian accent. And now you have this southern accent. The diversity only here on Animal Radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Remember, the advice you hear on today's show is for entertainment purposes only. Please be sure to consult your own vet regarding your pet.
Vinny Penn coming at you, your resident party animal on Animal Radio. Can I ask you a question? Why is it that your goldfish always die when you go on vacation? Now, you know what I'm talking about. You've taken care of them all year. You're 6, and you've managed to keep them alive for the past year, and yet you go away for a week and come back, either to the sob story of the year from some relative you never see or friend of your mother's who was given the job of feeding the pet, or B, to a fish that doesn't look remotely like Pokemon, the fish that you left a week before. As a sidebar, that's something right there. If you are going to care for your friend or family member's child's fish, take a look at them. You know, if you're going to so choose to starve him for a week and just figure on replacing him because you're a cold, callous person like that, and mom has overlooked that fact during the hiring process, you can still take a look at him so you know what you're replacing him with. Nothing worse for a 6-year-old to come back to find his goldfish and you've replaced him with a piranha. So, yes, please, if you're going to murder the goldfish, replace it with a goldfish. Isn't that a crazy concept? But I don't know what it is. If every time you hear, the fish died, we think Grammy overfed him. Well, I can see that. Grammy overfeeds me every time I stay with her. I didn't know you could really die from that. That's always the excuse, that your goldfish was overfed. Now, this comes from a real place. When I was 6, 7 years old, I had 2 goldfish, Cheech and Chong. When I came back, there was just one big fat fish in the tank. Not 2, one big fat, clearly different fish, in which my brother, of course, in a continuing effort to torment me, informed me that Cheech had eaten Chong. But I still didn't buy it since it wasn't even the same color. It took years to unravel the mystery. All of us have that long-standing pet incident from our youth that has taken years to uncover what's going on. And that was it took years finally for my mother's best friend Lenny to say, look, the fish died. I didn't know what to do. I had missed the day. I just went and bought you new fish. Wasn't that nice of me? The classic, well, what about me? You know, I felt terrible. Here you were, my best friend's son, and I killed your fish. What about me? And you're sitting there like, I don't know. What about Cheech and Chong? I'm Vinny Penn, party animal, Animal Radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
We've been waiting for this. Radar O'Reilly from MASH. Gary Berghoff, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Hal. How are you?
Very well. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm glad to hear that the show's still going.
Of course. It's doing very well. And, of course, you were one of the original guests on Animal Radio a couple of years ago when we were sending out tape recorders.
Back in the old days.
I was a pioneer.
Yes, you were. And you are a pioneer in almost everything that you do. I hear that you're doing a lot of RVing recently, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't fly, and I've been using an RV for my business.
So let me see what all you got going on. You're still doing some acting. Is it theater?
I just finished a play, yeah.
What play?
I did, I did Last of the Red Hot Lovers up in Connecticut. In October.
Is it fun to do that kind of stuff? You like doing theater?
It is, but you know something? I'm looking forward to retiring.
Are you?
I honestly am. I just would like to have my kids come and visit and just hang back. Everybody's always asking me, what are you doing now? As if I'm supposed to be doing something now, you know? And I just don't feel like I want to do anything now. I want a beautiful garden outside my RV window. You know, I own an RV site down in Florida. In fact, I own 2 of them.
And you're a spokesman for them, are you not?
I am. It's a place called Nature Coast Landing. we're bordered by a nature preserve on one side, and on the other side is Highway 19 in Florida. And Nature Coast Landings is an RV community. It's not like a resort. It's not a campground. It's an RV community. Everybody owns their own sites. We do our own landscaping, and we enjoy the environment and the wildlife here.
Can you come for the weekend and visit?
Sure can, but be careful. If you stay a week, you'll stay a lifetime. That's what I tell people. It's just a lovely, quiet community, just far enough away from town to to be surrounded by wildlife, and yet close enough for all the modern conveniences. I just love it here.
Do people identify you as Radar O'Reilly, and do you like that or do you not like that?
I like being identified as the actor who played him, but I think that I think people need a reality check if they think that I actually am that character, and I go home to my Uncle Ed and my mom in Ottumwa, Iowa every night.
Yeah, but there is something that is kind of interesting. We had Ed Asner on, and he always plays these roles, or these macho roles, but he's a big animal lover. The one thing that I noticed with you is that there were actually some similarities between the character Radar O'Reilly and your love for animals. You really were brought up on a farm. And
that's because no, I wasn't brought up on a farm.
Okay.
My father was vice president in charge of manufacturing in a clock factory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and my mother was a dancer, so I was not brought up. I'm not Radar O'Reilly. However, Larry Gelbart, our head writer, would come to our homes, and he would get to know us in such a way that he would marry certain elements of our life, and one of which was my love for animals. He saw in my backyard in Malibu. He saw I had a center there for ailing animals, where I nursed them back to health. And people would bring me. I was licensed by the state to take in injured wildlife. See, so as soon as he saw that, about 2 weeks later, Radar had his animal sanctuary on the show.
It was written into the script.
It was written in the script. So there were certain things, and I guess that kind of confuses people a little bit, and say, well, he was that in real life, so everything else must be true.
Yeah.
As I remember, the last time you were on Animal Radio, you did mention that you did not have a lot of friends, human two-legged friends, as a youngster, but you had lots of four-legged friends.
Well, I'm not sure that I didn't have too many two-legged friends. I can remember many, but I did have a propensity. I think it's genetic, to be honest with you. I had a sensitivity toward nature and animals, and that goes all the way back to the beginning. I can remember passing a family farm and seeing the geese all locked up in a pen, and I remember kidnapping the geese and putting them in my neighbor's pond, goldfish pond, and much to the consternation of my parents and certainly the family farmer. But it just didn't seem right for geese not to be on water. And so I've always had this I think sensitivity, and I think that most people do to one degree or another.
What was your first experience with an animal that you made that connection? You looked into their eyes. I mean, what kind of animal was it? What was your first experience?
Well, I think it was I think like most people, it was a domestic animal, and I think it was probably my first cat. Cats climb into bed with you, and they curl up next to you, and you can't help but to feel connected to them. And I think it was my first cat. His name was Flippy, and a fascinating cat, by the way. That cat would dive into that neighbor's pond and catch the goldfish.
Oh my God!
He was an actual swimming cat.
Cats usually haywater.
Yeah, he was a very unusual cat. Of course, some species of cats, such as the jaguar, I think the ocelot, love water, and in fact are fishing cats. So who knows where the strain came from? Originally from this particular cat, but But this was an amazing thing, and of course, my first dog, who became my friend for the first 16 years of my life, my dog Patch. Mm-hmm. You can't forget bonds like that, and if maybe the good Lord wanted animals to become domestic so that we would be more sensitive to all living creatures, because domestic animals introduce us back into the environment. We need to stay connected to our environment. We can't just be machine people and watch television all the time. We have to stay connected, or we'll lose it. What we appreciate, we will refuse to destroy. But if we are so devoid of contact with it, we will lose that appreciation.
Exactly.
Just remember that we all have a reason for being here. We all have a right to be here. But stay connected with the world that we were born into, the natural world. That's where there's a great deal of wisdom and a great deal of lessons that are true and real that we can draw from in our life. Stay connected. That's one of the things I do as a wildlife artist. And in fact, I think that's my main thing, is to just keep people connected with the environment and enjoy it. Enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Don't get too close. Don't encroach on it. But at any rate, I think that's it. Please stay connected to the environment.
There he is, Gary Burghoff on Animal Radio. More Animal Radio on the way. Stick around. Hold on, Gary.
Okay.
Hey, Animal Thrill Seekers. Animal Radio is brought to you by Flavicin. Flavicin improves joint function in dogs, keeping cartilage, tendons, and ligaments healthy and joints flexible in the body of aging animals. To find out more about this breakthrough formula, visit www.yourolderdog.com.
Listen to the news.
2 dogs rescued from a locked car.
Emergencies can happen anywhere, anytime. They can even affect your pets.
In other news, a local policeman saved a cat today.
Being prepared and knowing what to do can be the difference between life or death for you and your pets. The same Red Cross you know and trust is the leader in pet first aid preparation and education. Look for dog or cat first aid guidebooks with DVDs online at redcrossstore.org or contact your local Red Cross chapter for more information. The Red Cross is helping protect our pets.
We all know dogs love to go for car rides. Giving water to your dog while you drive, however, can be a problem. The To-Go Bowl by Furry Travelers is the first and only travel water bowl to fit into a car's cup holder. Complete with splash guard and lid, the To-Go Bowl allows your pet to drink whenever he wants. You can find the To-Go Bowl at many local pet stores, websites, and at www.furrytravelers.com. Don't leave home without your To-Go Bowl. Your furry traveler will love you for it.
Every once in a while, there comes along a special group of animal lovers that stands strongly in defense of the voiceless. Animal People is that newspaper for people who really care about the animals. Animal People is published 10 times yearly. The publisher is a non-profit corporation dedicated to exposing the existence of cruelty to animals and to informing and educating you so that animal lovers worldwide can eliminate such cruelty. Your subscription is $24 a year and is 100% tax deductible. Get Animal People's fair and accurate investigative reporting from the industry watchdog. Visit our website at www.animalpeoplenews.org. That's www.animalpeoplenews.org to subscribe to the news for people who care about animals. Animal People. Subscribe today at www.animalpeoplenews.org.
Hey, this is Sean Hayes on Animal Radio. Remember to spay and neuter your pets.
It's Animal Radio. Are you one of those pet guardians faced with outrageous cleaning problems? Most of us are.
Yeah, I was going to say, anybody who owns pets.
It could be worth a gift package valued at $70. Tell them what's in the package, Judy.
In the package, they're going to get the Simple Solution Stain and Odor Remover. It's the original one just for your everyday pet messes.
Oh, very cool.
Then you're going to get an all-natural pet stain and odor eliminator. Get rid of those stinky odors.
Okay.
It also includes a carpet pre-treat product for those really tough stains.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a specialized hardwood floors cleaner. Isn't that cool? And then to top it off, you get a UV spot spotter that you can go around in the dark and see all those stains.
See those pea spots. How do you pick up on this package? Well, just tell us your outrageous cleaning problem that you have at 1-866-405-8405. We actually just had a cat call in and he said, you should see the mess I'm working on for my guardian right now.
He wants to win, huh?
Yeah, and you can call in all week, 1-866-405-8405. By the way, if you're just tuning in, we're welcoming a brand new member to the Animal Radio family, Dr. Jill Richardson.
I forgot to tell you about my favorite pet at Zoo 2, and don't tell my hamster bear.
Okay.
It's Tank. He's a bulldog, and he's from a bulldog rescue. And his owner had gotten him from a bulldog rescue when he was a little puppy. He's so adorable. He's like a magic dog. I take him for walks all the time, and everybody comes up and talks to me and stuff. Strange, and he always attracts, men to you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
He's a really great dog, and he's so adorable. But he's always in the hospital. He has a real sensitive stomach. About 3 weeks ago, he was on IVs in the vet clinic on his deathbed practically. He had really bad gastritis. About last week, he got bit by a snake on his chin. And in between that, he has really bad skin. Bulldogs have the worst skin. They're really prone to a condition called pyoderma, which is like a pussy dermatological irritation, and it has a lot of yeast buildup in it, so it can smell sort of funky. But he's so cute.
How old is he?
Adorable. He's only he's about a year old now.
Oh, wow.
And he's just really cute.
So
he does high fives.
High fives, huh?
Yeah. I'll have to send you a picture. I have a picture. Do you watch Seinfeld?
Yes.
Do you remember whenever George did that sexy photo for the lady at the photo studio?
Yes, I do.
There's a picture of Tank, and he's laying like that on a sofa. It's so cute. I'll have to send it to you.
Do you take takeout for lunch every day trying to pick up men? Is that what's happening?
I do. Yeah, don't tell anybody, yeah. And it's working out really well.
Beautiful.
He's a magic dog.
Instead of he's a magic man, Mama, he's a magic dog.
He's a magic dog.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
This is Glenn Close on Animal Radio, and remember how very, very important it is to spay or neuter your pet.
In August 2005, Hurricane Katrina roared across the Gulf Coast. Many people were forced to separate from their beloved pets. A few reunions were covered on national TV. But what happened to the rest of those pets? Find out in Katrina Tales, a feature-length documentary on the people and pets of New Orleans in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. Available only at KatrinaTales.com or through Transit Media, 800-343-5540. $29 including shipping. Visit KatrinaTales.com or call 800-343-5540.
Welcome back to Animal Radio, 1-866-405-8405. Hope you're gathered round with your animals. I've mentioned this before. We actually have two shows going on. One at this normal frequency right here that humans can hear, and one for your dogs that can hear a lot of, and cats too, they can hear high frequencies.
Do you throw in some little subliminal messages in there for them?
Well, it's educational. It tells them about humans. That's what it's really about. So two shows going on at once. Bring your animals around, your goldfish, your iguana, or in my case, my first pet was a chia pet. Okay, I admit it. I had to start out with a chia pet. 1-866-405-8405. Dr. Jill Richardson, better known as Dr. Jill, welcoming her to her new home here at Animal Radio. What was your very first pet?
My very first pet was a rabbit named Jeannie. I named her after I Dreamed of Jeannie, and she was gray and white.
So a rabbit.
And she moved to the country.
She moved to the... Is that what Dad said?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what my dad told me. One day I came home and Jeannie was gone, and they said she moved to the country.
Is a rabbit a good starter pet?
Yeah, I just wouldn't want to start them with a very young child because you have to handle them with a lot of care. But you can have a rabbit and treat it like a house rabbit and litter box train it, and it's almost just like having a cat at home. You just have to take extra care because they do chew up wires.
Okay, yeah, Bob Barker was telling us that he has a room full of rabbits. It's his TV room. He put a brand new TV that the producers gave him in the room. Didn't hook it up or anything, but the rabbits ate all the wires, so they eat wires, and they do need to be neutered and spayed just like cats and dogs.
They do, they do. And it's tough to spay and neuter a rabbit because they metabolize the anesthesia real quick, so you have to be very fast.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm glad that's your
they start
job.
waking up on the table.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that.
No.
1-866-405-8405. Hi, who's this?
This is Richard from the West Coast.
Hi, Richard, from the whole West Coast, huh?
Yeah, well, down the southwest corner of Washington State.
I like it. Okay.
Hi, Richard. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Good, good.
Hey, I had a question. I got a little Maltese, and they're always talking about when you should clip their nails and everything, and I just wonder when should you really clip their nails? His looks good. When he lays on me, I mess with his feet and that, and he doesn't jump around. The only one is his dew claw will get a little long, and I'll snip that. But I hate cutting his nails too much, and I just wondered what the procedure, what it is normally that people, what's the best time to do that. I guess.
Well, dogs like people will have their nails grow at different lengths, different time periods. Some dogs' nails grow really long very quickly, and then some that are more, especially dogs that are on the pavement a lot, can actually work their nails down pretty short themselves, and you don't really have to do much clipping. But the dew claws are really important, especially with a hairy dog like a Maltese. If you don't clip the dew claws, they can actually curve over and go right back into the skin. It looks like a ram's horn almost. It's horrible, and it can get infected. So you want to keep a close eye on that. What I usually recommend with people is if you do have a dog, you could just take off the tip of the nail, maybe every month, maybe, if your dog sounds like your dog doesn't have a nail growth, issue there, and just take off the very tip of it. Just, take it off. You want to make sure that you look for the quick, and there'll be which is the part that would bleed if you clip it too short. So you want to make sure you don't clip that area, or the dog's nail would bleed. And always, it's good to be prepared, because even despite your best attempts, sometimes you may snip it too short, and the dog's toenail may bleed. So you might want to pick up some the styptic powder or the styptic sticks, just in case that does happen, because they get really excited and nervous when it bleeds, and they'll bleed a lot, and it can be very messy. And it's better to be safe than sorry and have it on hand, and most likely you won't have to use it. But I just keep an eye on it. And if your dog does do a lot of walking on concrete, or you probably might not even have to clip the nails.
Okay. All righty. I was just wondering, I just like to keep him in fairly good shape,
Yeah.
He's a pretty good little
Yeah,
boy.
and you can, his nails are white, right? Are his nails white?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at them too, with Malteses, it's usually clear at the top, and then the part that's growing in, the excess part is usually like more of a white color. So you can sort of just take a quick look at it, and if it does look like it's a little pointy or sharp, just take a pair of nail clippers and just take off the tips very gently. Don't go too far up, and you can even use a file to file them down a little bit too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Jill.
Thank you.
Try that.
Thank you for your call, Richard. 1-866-405-8405. Have you heard of these quick finders?
Oh, I've heard of that. I saw it on TV. I have never tried it, though. It sounds too good to be true, but I've never tried them.
What happens to a dog's nails if you don't trim them?
Well, if my dogs are usually running around and their nails are fine, and I've never had to clip their nails. They usually just grind it in themselves. But if you don't clip them, they can get very long. Especially, I've seen it a lot in older dogs. They'll have really long nails, and they'll start folding over, and then it'll go into their foot pad.
Ooh.
So it can be, that point can be very painful. If you can imagine, that's so sensitive on their paw pads. But in general, usually, an active dog can keep most of its nails down pretty well. People that have wood floors tend to try to keep them a little bit shorter, or if they have kids, they don't want them to scratch, they'll keep them shorter and file them down a little bit.
What about cats? How often and should their nails always be cut? Because we have one cat here in the studio. We don't even touch her nails, but she makes noises across the hardwood floors. And then we have other cats that are more amiable.
Yeah,
to it.
you do want to keep an eye on it because, again, their nails can grow out long and go right, grow over in a circle and do a ram's horn and go right into their paws. So keep an eye on that, especially the dew claws. But cats tend, they have
what are the dew claws?
Oh, they're the claws on the side that don't touch the ground when they're walking.
Okay.
They're up on the side of their foot. They don't really serve a purpose. Some dogs don't have them. Some cats don't have them, or they may have 2 or 3 instead of all 4. But those are the ones you want to keep a closer eye on because they're not going to have any touch with the surface. But with cats, like with my cat, I usually clip her nails once a month. But, cats take care of themselves. They're into grooming and beauty and glamour, so they're always bathing themselves and they're always scratching their nails to keep them nice and sharp and things. So they can keep their nails in pretty good shape. But it's always good to, clip their nails at least once a month, especially if you do have kids or if there's somebody in your house that doesn't want to be scratched.
Remember to
spay or neuter. Always adopt
and don't
declaw.
I think there's a time
Hold on, Dave.
Spay or neuter.
Always
adopt and don't declaw.
This is Animal Radio Network.